Hello everyone, welcome to the Beer Garden. In this episode, we will be talking about the all-weather nights on this Wednesday at Sha Tin. Along with Sarah, Steve, and Joe and myself, we are going to talk about race 5 to race 7, along with our best bet and value bet on Wednesday. But first of all, because this Wednesday will be the third all-weather meeting in this Hong Kong racing season, I'm curious about because there are a lot of all-weather or the dirt track all over the world. So, Sarah, do you have any difference when studying the cut between Hong Kong and the US, the dirt track?
I do. Yeah, with Hong Kong, it's very difficult. Kind of like what Joe had mentioned off there. You kind of have to just throw darts because you really got to look at what horses can take to the track. And it is very different. Obviously these horses come from mainly running on turf to transition over to an all-weather, whereas in the US, a lot of our dirt races and even your synthetic races, those horses mainly stick to that type of surface. You will see horses switch over. And really in that case, what I look at is breeding, if they've tried the dirt track before, how they really took to it. And of course, dirt's a bit difficult because you have some tracks that are deeper than others. Some tracks where maybe the rail runs a bit hotter than others. I know Oakland rail has been pretty hot most of the season. So there is a lot to really consider. And I would say it's just maybe a little bit easier to handicap the United States races just because you have horses that stick solely to one surface.
Yeah, in Hong Kong, we call the all-weather track all-weather, and I think that this is one of the most easy track for the horses to handle in the world. And Joe, how about you? What do you think?
I always look for speed. It's the same as like doing the form here in America. I always look for speed and see who's drawn in the inside and who's going to be in the back, because a lot of the time they can't make up the ground. So for me, whenever I do Sha Tin, it's almost as similar as America, because you want to be up on the speed, or else you're not. If you're not on the speed, then you're not going to make it. So yeah, for me, it's always going to be speed is one of the big things.
Yeah, I agree that speed is very important over the all-weather track in Hong Kong, no matter any distance. And Steve, I know you are specializing in also France racing and UK and Ireland racing. Do you have any differences when studying the all-weather cut in Hong Kong compared with other countries?
I think I just like to look and see how the horses have compared previously on either surface, the dirt or the all weather. I think in Hong Kong racing, I try and just look at a horse on its merits, and even though it has never run on the dirt before, I always like to have a good look at the HKJC trials and just see how a horse acts, because it's really quite illuminating seeing how they run on these trials, and you can get a horse that just suddenly debuts for the first time and wins. And also it's a very fair track at Hong Kong, the Sha Tin surface, and it's very, very fair. I think to the lesser lights as well. Some of the horses, maybe the trainers that aren't the big profile trainers as well. I know back in the summer of August of last year, I think the first 11 results all came from different trainers and different jockeys. So it's a very fair track across the board.
Yes, right. In Hong Kong, we have more all-weather barrier trial than the turf barrier trial, so we can also take a look of it. And recently in Hong Kong, it keeps raining in the recent days. So currently, the going on Wednesday is expected to be wet slow, so it will be quite a tough cut on Wednesday. So we will be going to talk about race 5 first, because it is a class 1 containing several great dirt sprinter in Hong Kong, over 1,200 meters. Sarah, who do you like in race 5?
I like the one Kerpeny. He's just coming off. He had a really great run on the all-weather track, as we saw in January, getting the first place there in a really decent field. He just showed exceptional form, and it shows that he's consistently improving. And I think he's just a really great bet. I think Chan's going to give him a really nice run here. He has great speed. And I think that's what's going to help him out in this field. He is jumping from barrier 5, which I think is more comfortable for this horse. That is the one Kerpeny.
Yes, Courtney is a great horse over this course and distance, and he is very consistent with good gate speed. And Steve, how about you? Who do you like?
I went for Majestic Star. He's on a hat trick now. He's drawn 3. Karis Teton on board, won his last 2 races, and likes both surfaces, dirt and also the grass. And a really improvement this season. Started life off 74, back he's now up to 91, career high. Excellent chance. Courtney too, a real classy horse. Made its debut in Ireland for Andrew Slattery, came over to Sha Tin and been a really, really good horse. Very interesting race, isn't it? You've also got Duke Y, who's an interesting horse in some quarters, and the likes of Keep You Warm too, which is the plum drawing barrier 1. That's interesting, also under Alexis Bedell. But I'll go for Majestic Star to continue his good runner form.
Yeah, I agree. Race 5 is an interesting race, and I will also go for 4 Majestic Star. But let me ask Joe first. Joe, do you agree with Sarah or Steve?
Yeah, I'm with Sarah. I am also on Courtney because of the speed in the race, and Alfie is only taking the 2.5 kilos off. So Sarah pretty much covered it. He's really consistent. He has a win on the turf and also on the all weather, and he's also won on Alfie Chan before on the 1200 meters. So I mean, he is the class of the race, but then you look down on the bottom and you see that they're all running. He is the only one that's going to carry a 58 as opposed to everybody else. So he's going to have to give some weight to them, but I think he'll hold on because he is the speed. I think he'll hold up, and that's what you want in the all weather surface on Sha Tin. So yeah, number 1, Courtney for me.
Yeah, I agree that in race 5, there will be 2 horses dominating the field that are number 1, Courtney, and my selection, number 4, Majestic Stars. Just like Steve mentioned that Majestic Star is having quite a great performance recently. And I also quite like his recent barrier trial performance. He looks really fit at this moment. So I think that he is going to have his 3rd consecutive winner on this Wednesday. So to recap race 5, our selection, just focusing on 2 horses. For Sarah and Joe, they go for number 1, Courtney, and Steve and myself will go for number 4, Majestic Star. So let's talk about race 6. It will be a class 4 over 1200 meters, quite a wide open race. Sarah, who do you like?
I like the 4, Fiery Diamond here is jumping out of barrier 10. We got Moreira aboard. He's had 3 tries on the all-weather track, and his last time, I think you can and really forgive. He just didn't have a great run, but the 2 tries before on the all-weather track at the end of December were exceptional. He got 2 really nice 2nd place finishes, and I think he's only shown that his form is improving quite a bit. They're adding blinkers onto him this time, so that could mean a lot. That could mean that they're just going to try to send him, and I think it'll help this horse stay focused, and we might see a really strong race out of him. I think the added blinkers are going to help out here.
Yeah, for Sarah's best bet, number 4, Fiery Diamond, it is quite interesting to see him putting on the blinkers. And I think that this gear can make him to be more focused because he is quite a green horse. So I think this gear would be helpful. Steve, how about you? Who do you like?
I went for number 8, another Star, Blissful Star this time, drawn 4, makes his debut on dirt, but he looked good on the surface. He trialled in December and impressed them. And he hasn't been beaten far in his 4 starts. He's yet to win, but reunited with Keith Young, so has a good chance. I think Thunderstrike's a massive danger. Burton jumps off my horse to ride Thunderstrike, and he was an excellent 2nd over course and distance last time. But hopefully, from a good draw, number 4, Blissful, or from gate 4, Blissful Star can shed the maiden tag here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Blissful Star will jump from gate 4, which will be very ideal for him. And also the trainer, Jimmy Tang, is going to have several good horses on this Wednesday. So we should keep an eye on this trainer. Joe, how about you? Who do you like?
I went with the one that Steve mentioned, number 3, Thunderstrike. And I mean, he's drawn 11, but he was off the pace last time with Lyle Hewitson, and we were still able to almost nab 8 trigrams for first. But yeah, after that run at Sha Tin, he is a all-weather specialist. He has a win on the all-weather with Vincent Ho, and then also was 2nd with Lyle Hewitson, as I mentioned. So the awkward barrier is the concern, but he did show a lot of fight in the last race, and if anything is anything like the last race, then maybe he could hopefully beat the field. But it is a pretty wide open race. Earlier, I saw that Zach Burton and Thunderstrike was at $9 in the Australian market, but now he's dropped down to $3. So Lost taking some early money in Australia, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, number 3, Thunderstrike.
Yeah, number 3, Thunderstrike, that will be ridden by Zach. But Zach haven't scored any winner over the all-weather track in this Hong Kong racing season. But I'm quite sure that he will end the drought on this Wednesday because he got a lot of good horses, definitely including Thunderstrike in race 6. And for me, I will go for an outsider, number 5, Fighting Star. Steve just mentioned that there are a lot of stars in the field. So Fighting Star, he will be racing over the all-weather track for the first time. But I just checked his form in Australia. He was a soft ground winner over there. And this time here, he will be at a career low mark of 52. So I think that he is able to bounce back. And also his barrier trial on last Tuesday was very impressive with the blinkers. He improved a lot with this gear. So this time he will put on the blinkers for the first time, and gates 2, I'm sure that this gate will be favorable for Fighting Star number 5. So to recap race 6, our selection includes Sarah's best bet will be number 4, Fiery Diamond. Steve likes number 8, Blissful Star, and number 3, Thunderstrike for Joe, and number 5, Fighting Star for me. So let's talk about another race that will be race 7. It is a class 3 race over a longer distance, 1800 meters. Sarah, who is your pick?
I like the 12 here, Party Every Day. We get Moreira aboard for this run, which is going to be exciting to see. This horse has performed or raced quite a bit on the all-weather track. He has about 19 runs. He also even has a couple runs on a slow all-weather track, of which Charene mentioned earlier. We might see that tomorrow or Wednesday. But last time out, I just think he really waited, I think, too long to really make that move here. But he just has exceptional form. He's raced against such tough company for quite some time. And I think Moreira is really going to help give this horse a really nice ride. And we'll see. He's jumping from barrier 12, which I think he can overcome. It's not the ideal for him, but I do like that he does have experience on a slower track, and he does form on the all-weather. We just got to see if we can get him another win. He kind of goes back and forth. He got a really nice second at the 1650. So now that 1800, yes, he raced that last time out. Let's see if maybe he just needs to do it again. I'm going to take my shot here. I think we're going to get pretty good value on him too.
Yeah, Party Every Day jumping from gate 12. I don't think it will be a problem for him because he is a really great back marker with very strong turn of foot. So I'm looking forward to him too. And Steve, who do you like?
Well, I like 10 of them, but you have to pick one. I've chopped and changed all day. I ended up going for number 3, Ultra Express. He's drawn 4 under Lyle Hewitson. He's a really nice horse. He's still lightly raced, and he's only had 14 runs, but he's won 4 of them. That's a pretty good strike rate. All his wins have been at Sha Tin, but his last win was on the dirt over the 1650. And I think he was first time blinkered last time. And the way he was staying on well, I think the extra 150 metres will really suit. So I think the 1800 metres, mile and 1 furlong will help. And he's just a very consistent horse. In his last 11 starts, he's only been out of the top 3 ones. So that is really consistent. And his last win was off a mark of 70. He's now up to 79, but he was a runner-up of 77. So maybe he's now ready to push on and get even greater heights. And Lyle Hewitson, great jockey as well.
Yes, I agree. Ultra Express will stepping up to 1800 meters, and this distance should be suitable for him. And also, we see that Lyle Hills and the jockey is having better and better results recently in Hong Kong. So great pick, Ultra Express. How about you, Joe? Do you have any outsider you like here?
Yeah, I think he is the longest shot out of everybody. Number 14, Barrett Z with Jung on board now. I know it's kind of a lunatic pick, but when I look down at the bottom, he won his maiden in Dundalk Stadium on the all-weather track, on the standard track. He has taken the turf, but I'm thinking that the class is too high for him because he went straight to class 3. He's handicapped all the way on the bottom to one of the lower weights, but he's drawn 5, and we haven't seen him on the all-weather surface, so he could potentially hit the board among the others. And I know it's a big field, drawn 14, plus he has to race against 14 other horses, but he did get 3rd in a big field at Steve, am I pronouncing this right? Nas?
Nace.
Nace. Okay, so yeah, Nace. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, you never know sometimes with some of these horses, especially that Witty's had a second up, so this is his third up. Maybe the fitness is already there and it's improved for him. So yeah, at a totally outside pick, 14 Baron Z with Derek Gill.
Yeah, right. Quite an interesting pick for Joe. That will be his value bet number 14, Baron C. Currently, the price in Hong Kong will be 41, the huge price outside here. Yeah, it is quite good to see that he will be jumping from a better draw, gate 5. I think he can take advantage of it. And for me, I will go for Burton, number 4, Leap of Faith. I see that this horse had a breakthrough in this season by winning a Class 3 races in January, and also he is quite good over 1800 meters. Going back to 2020, he won over the yielding track. So I think that this horse will love the all-weather track on Wednesday, especially when the going will be wet slow. So it is good to have Burton on board Leap of Faith. So I will be looking forward to him. So to recap, race 7, Sarah goes for number 12, Party Every Day. Steve likes number 3, Ultra Express, and Joe has his value bet here. That is number 14, Brazen Sea. And for me, I will go for number 4, Leap of Faith. So apart from talking about race 5 to race 7, we will also include our best bet in this episode. So Sarah, can you remind us who will be your best bet?
Yes, my best bet is 4, Fiery Diamond in race 6. I just really think the added blinkers, we're going to see something special out of him. Barrier draws is not the most ideal for him. It's a bit wide, and I think he can overcome that. But I just think we're really going to see an exceptional performance. And I do think that him being more focused with those blinkers on is what's going to help this horse get a win here on the all-weather track. So that is 4, Fiery Diamond and race 6.
Yeah, Sarah's best bet, race 6, number 4, Fiery Diamond. I think that the blinkers would be really, really helpful. So hopefully he can have some great results on Wednesday. And Steve, who will be your best bet?
I went to race number 3 and number 2, Flying Dragon, another dragon here, ridden by Zach Burton, drawn in 1. He's a lightly raced horse. He won over course and distance on his first attempt on the surface, and he had no chance from the draw next time when he was going for back-to-back wins. He was third to the trader. Then he was disappointing at Happy Valley, and on his penultimate run, a good third once again of course and distance. And then last time he had no chance. He was dropped down to 1,000 meters, which is a bit sharp for him, and he reared as the gates opened, so he had no chance there. But yes, he's only had 8 runs. He's a nice horse, and he's still rated 59, quite fair, I think. I think there's a lot of improvement to be had. I think the likes of Moiraki is an interesting challenger, but really you would like to think, although he's a short price, that Flying Dragon can go very, very close with Zach up for the first time.
Yes, right. So race 3, number 2, Flying Dragon will be Steve's best bet. I like this horse very much because he has quite good course and distance performance before, and this time he can definitely take advantage of the gate 1. And Joe, how about you? Who will be your best bet?
Best bets at race number 4, 1,200 meters on the all-weather track. Oh, they're all all-weather track, but yeah. Class 5 race. Yeah, I went with Golden Mission. I think I tipped him the last time because he was he had a very consistent runs in the last couple races, especially at Sha Tin, both on the turf and the all-weather. Matthew Chadwick is on board. He is drawn number 2, but he is going to carry a little bit more than what he was carrying before. He's going to carry 3 more kilos. I don't think that's going to matter. He's been on the finish about a length, give or take. So he's either won by that much, or he's lost by that much. But currently the price for him, as opposed to everybody else, because the field's paying $4.20 with Wisdom Patch being the current favorite, but I think you're going to get a good value price on Golden Mission. He was about that same price before in this last race where he won, so you're getting it again. I would definitely take that $8.80 again. So yeah, number 11, Golden Mission with Matthew Chadwick.
Yeah, race 4, number 11, Golden Mission will be Joe's best bet. Again, yes, I remember you selected this horse because it's a really quite an interesting horse. this season is his fourth season to race in Hong Kong. So finally broke his maiden last time out. And this time also jumping from a great draw, grade 2, also ridden by Matthew Charene. So I also think that he can keep the form. And for my best bet, it will be in the final race, race 8. It is a class 3 over 1200 meters. I will go for number 5, Drops of God, because he is quite a very good looking chestnut gelding. He showed his potential last season, but to be honest, quite a bit disappointed this season at 4-year-old for this horse. So this time he will return after a 4-month spell. It is good to give him some time to grow up and to become more and more mature. And recently he had 2 barrier trials which were quite impressive under Wagner Borgens recently. So I think that this time in race 8 there are a lot of fast horses. So the pace will be fast, and then Drops of God will be jumping from gate 3, so he can stay in a great position, possibly getting the rail, so which will be very ideal for him. So my best bet will be in race 8, number 5, Drops of God. So to recap our best bet on this Wednesday at Sha Tin, Sara is in race 6, number 4, Fiery Diamond. For Steve, race 3, number 2, Flying Dragon. For Joe, race 4, number 11, Golden Mission. And for me, race 8, number 5, Drops of God. And let's move on to talk about our value bet on Wednesday. Sara, who will be your value bet?
My value bet comes in at race 3, which is the class 4 over 1200 meters. And I'm going to take the 8, Cool Celeb here. This is a horse, we've seen him quite a bit. He has much better form, I think, on the all-weather track. We got Jerry Chow aboard, so we do get a little bit of that break here. You know, this horse, he's just something different. He should really trail the field, but I think Chow is really great form on this horse. He really knows how to handle him. He hasn't been on him in a bit, but just the way he's ridden him when he has, it's exceptional. So I think we're really going to see something out of this. I just think out of all the horses in this field, I think he probably has the best form over the all-weather track. But I do think with his kind of inconsistency of hitting the board, a lot of the punters might stay away from him. So I think you are going to get a good value, because I really do think he's a horse to at least put, you know, underneath on your ticket. And I think in the Australian market, he's looking about $13 right now. So you're going to get a good price on him.
Yeah, so in the Hong Kong market, Sara's value bet race 3, number 8, Cool Celeb is having a $12 chance. I still remember that last season he won over at the same rating with now, because now his rating is 46. So I'm quite sure that he is able to bounce back. And Steve, how about you? Who will be your value bet?
I went to race number 1, and that is number 3, Pakistan Friend. I did consider making it my best bet, but at the prices, I think it is a bit more speculative. So perhaps a value bet is the best thing. He's got a decent strike rate. He's 5 from 31, and this is his ideal trip, 1800 meters. And he's well handicapped. He's £4 below his last winning mark, reunited with Jerry Chow, who takes another £3 off. He's had one previous run on dirt. It wasn't particularly good, but it's too quick to rule him out of dirt, because it's just the one run. And he also trialled well recently. So I think he's got an interesting possibilities here. And there's 9 runners. It's a nice sort of each way feel if you're looking for an each way bet as well, drawn in 6. And I think he was one of the horses I picked a few runs back when it was a massive jackpot in Hong Kong, the triple trio race behind Darcy Joy. He's not been beaten far in his last 4 runs, and he arrives here in good form. So if he takes to the dirt, he's got a good chance.
Yeah, for Steve's value bet in the opener, race 1, number 3, Pakistan France. Currently, the price is $10. And other horse that ridden by Jerry Chow, we select as our value bet. And Joe, can you remind us who will be your value bet?
Yeah, value bets at race number 7, Baron Z with sorry, I said Derek Jung earlier. It's Keith Jung. So yeah, I think yeah, exactly. I think with that run in the all weather and getting a win on the debut on the all weather in Ireland, I think he could potentially show up in the first, second, or third place, or even to round out your first 4s or quartets or your superfectas. I wouldn't completely throw him out. I know he's a big price, but sometimes they happen to show up, and then I know his last 2 runs have been 11 lengths off the finish, but you know, sometimes you get a lot of weird results. He could potentially be one of them. So yeah, 14 Baron Z in race number 7.
Yeah, right. Sometimes it can be completely different switching on another surface. So race 7, number 14, Baron C will be Joe's value bet. Currently, the price is 42, quite a huge price for this horse, so don't forget him. And for my value bet, it will be in race 4. I like number 5, Treasure of Field. I think that he should be an all-weather expert in his pedigree. He is side by Dashi Bama and out of a keeper mare. And also he has some siblings that are having quite great performance over the heavy track in New Zealand. So this time Treasure of Field will drop in class 5 for the first time. He is quite a nicely raised 4-year-old, going to have his 10th start in Hong Kong. So I'm quite looking forward to him because he should be competitive in a class 5 race. So race 4, number 5, Treasure of Field will be my value bet, and currently the price is $27 from gate 11. So to recap our value bet, Sara, it is race 3, number 8, Cool Celeb. For Steve, that is race 1, number 3, Pakistan Friend. And for Joe, that's a huge price outside of race 7, number 14, Baron C. And for me, it will be in race 4, number 5, Treasure of Gold. So that's all for our preview on this Wednesday's all-weather night at Sha Tin. And it will be the second last all-weather night in this racing season. We will have another all-weather night in May. So hopefully you will enjoy it. And stay safe, everyone. See you next time.